Guys, the NBA is back. What is going on? It's DK back at you with another video here to bring in the first showdown slate of the year, preseason, Nets and Lakers. Super excited to talk about this. But before we get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is DK. I make daily videos and live stream for NBA and NFL slates on Draftkings. Obviously, I will be covering NBA preseason. If you're unable to watch the YouTube videos, I also upload Apple Podcasts. Link down below. It's called the DKDFS show. If you're interested in signing for premium content, offer that on Patreon.com. Again, Patreon, I will be covering every single NBA preseason slate. And then I also offer an NBA package going over all the showdown slates as well as the main slates, esports package, including CSGO and Call of Duty, and the gold package is a combination of everything. And I do want to thank today's sponsor, PrizePicks. So I haven't confirmed this 100%, but I believe there will be a contest for the NBA preseason because they covered Summer League. So not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have contests for NBA preseason. If you guys are not familiar with PrizePicks, so a couple different ways you can play for NBA. The first way, again, we have futures. They just added something. I was going to say if they just added NBA preseason now, but no, it looks like it was something else. So they have some futures, right? So you can go over to single stat and you can take over under for futures like points per game, what Bradley Beal's going to average. Do you think he's going to average over or under 31.6 points per game? You can go to rebounds, assist. You know, they have a ton of stuff posted for season long, basically. So if you guys want to try this out, you can sign up using the code DKDFS. DKDFS, all one word. Link down below. You get a 100% match up to $100. Basically, you deposit using my code, you'll get a free $100 to play with. All right, so enough of the intro, guys. Let's just get into this one. Again, it's only a showdown slate, but we do have the big 9-game slate. I believe it's 9 games coming up on Monday, and this is a Sunday showdown slate. So let's first, I was going to say look at the odds, but nothing I see posted yet. Again, they only have over-unders and stuff posted for the regular season. So what we can do is, what I want to do is take a look at each of these teams in the first preseason game last year to get a good idea of what we might get for minutes. Now, obviously, we'll have to monitor news. Things can obviously change. There's no guarantee because players played this amount of minutes last year, the first preseason game, they play the same this year, right? I think it just gets us a good idea of what we can expect from each of these teams. All right, so taking a look at the Lakers, they basically rested all their veterans. And the thing that's really interesting here is this is a team full of veterans, right? Like almost everyone on this roster is 30-plus years old. So last year, it was basically an 8-man rotation. Kuzma played 38 minutes, THT 37, Harold 31, Schroeder 24, Wesley Matthews 23, Quinn Cook 28, Kaycock 25, Kostas 24. I believe Caruso got injured that game. That's when they played 10 minutes. But yeah, it was technically basically an 8-man rotation. So we'll get to the Lakers, but my assumption right now is I don't think the veterans play in this first preseason game. And then taking a look at the Nets. So I will mention most teams had 3 to 4 preseason games last year. The Nets only had 2. So that could be why they played their starters in the first half of this one. So, you know, a lot of the main guys played about half, right? You had KD played 24 minutes, Kyrie played 17, Dinwiddie played 25 minutes, DeAndre Jordan played 17, Harris played 19. So they really spread out the minutes. Again, though, they only played 2 preseason games last year. So I think there's a chance they could also rest their veterans in this one, which would make it a really interesting showdown slate. So what I want to do first is start off with the Brooklyn side, right? So big 3 of Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. If we do get news that these guys are going to play like a half or so, they obviously are really good plays. We'll just have to monitor that news, right? Harden coming off the hamstring injury. Obviously, KD played a ton of minutes in the playoffs. And then Kyrie his situation is right now he's not eligible to play in home games. This is technically a road game. So we'll see if he's going to be available too, even though it is on the road. So, but if we do get news again that the big 3 are going to play, obviously like all three are great point per minute guys. You know, if all 3 play the same amount of minutes, I think KD is probably the guy I prefer the most, just I think he has the highest floor. But Harden, Kyrie have a good amount of upside as well, as you guys know. So this is just a one. Again, we'll have to keep an eye on news and see what the Nets are going to do with their starters. We'll most likely get that before this game locks. But if we go off last year, first preseason game, the starters got about a half, which would make all three pretty solid plays. As far as the veterans, so Brooklyn's another team that is, has a lot of veterans. So a guy like Blake Griffin, Paul Millsap, like these are guys who don't expect to play a ton of minutes, right? These older veterans, Patty Mills, don't expect to see a ton. Marcus Aldridge, right? They have so many older guys that, I don't think they get a ton of run in the preseason. My guess is they would want to give the younger guys a little bit more run. So maybe a guy like Bruce Brown at 5'8" becomes viable, right? He was a key piece in their playoff run. He's a solid defender. I think he's intriguing. I think Nick Claxton is definitely viable. Again, we'll see what they end up doing with the starting lineup. There's a chance maybe if they rest the veterans that Claxton starts. We know Claxton's a really good point per minute guy. So he's someone that I'm definitely considering. Sekou, formerly of the Pistons, could get some run if they do end up resting a lot of guys. So, Javon Carter is a decent scorer, right? We know he's on the bench there for the Suns. I want to mention a couple rookies here, too. Actually, technically a revenge game narrative for Devontae Cacok, if you're interested in that. He played on the Lakers last couple of years. He was in the Summer League. He's a solid point per minute guy, can block some shots. Again, is mid-price. But I don't think salary is really going to matter in the show and slate because my guess is a lot of the veterans end up resting. But there's a couple other guys I want to mention. So Cam Thomas was the co-MVP of the Summer League. I think this is where we get edge because if you followed my Summer League content, we know all these young guys and kind of what they're about. Cam Thomas is a guy that can shoot the ball 30 times. Right, he's not afraid to shoot. He's a good scorer. Not going to do a ton of the peripheral stats, but rookie that average, I think he had 36 points in a game in the Summer League. He put up a couple big scoring efforts. So definitely considering a guy like Cam Thomas. A couple other guys I want to mention. We have Day'Ron Sharpe, a rookie. He's a good point per minute guy, kind of an aggressive offensive rebounder. A guy that can block some shots. A little bit interested in him too. Like I said, we'll just have to keep an eye on news. But those are some rookies that I think are viable that definitely could get some run. Again, Brooklyn, like the Lakers, are more a team that has a lot of veterans. So I would expect, at least in the first game or two, to see a lot more of the young guys. All right, moving on to the Lakers. So at the moment, my assumption is I don't think we see a lot of the veterans, which is going to be a majority of this team, which we could get a 7-8 man rotation for the Lakers, which would make them really, really appealing, right? Like we saw in the first preseason game last year, where the Lakers only played basically 8 guys. So Westbrook, LeBron, Anthony Davis at the moment are passes for me. Now, if we do get confirmation that they can play a half, obviously things change. But at the moment, those are guys I'm not really looking to. Again, guys like Melo, Ariza, these veteran wings, I'm not interested in a ton. THT is literally the preseason GOAT. So first couple games in the Lakers rested all their guys. He put up some big games, 19, 9, and 4. I think he had a really good big game 2 of the preseason. He's a guy that can stuff the stat sheet. He's one of the few young guys for the Lakers. So really like THT for this slate. Kendrick Nunn's another guy I think will get a good amount of run. And for the Heat, when they were a little bit banged up, he put up some big games, aggressive on the offensive end, another guy that can stuff the stat sheet. So THT, Kendrick Nunn, I think both look pretty solid. I think Malik Monk could get some ownership. There's a chance he might start in the regular season, possibly come off the bench, but he's a relatively young guy that I think could get some work. Again, a guy like Rondo, I don't think plays. I think a lot of these veterans don't get much run. The issue is, though, if you rest all the veterans, they have no bigs, right? So the 3 bigs in the roster, Anthony Davis, DeAndre Jordan, Dwight Howard. That's it. There's no other bigs on this roster unless they run small ball. So, I don't think AD plays, but one of these veteran centers might have to play. And if they do, they might have to get a decent amount of run. So, possibly a guy like Dwight Howard, even DeAndre Jordan could be plays. We'll see the Lakers do the starting line, right? They have no other bigs. So that's what I'm interested to see what they do if they do end up resting the veterans is who starts at the 5 for the LA Lakers. So, yeah, one over THT, one over Nunn. Mac McClung is a sharpshooter rookie. I think he's viable. He'll probably get a decent amount of shots up. Austin Reeves, another rookie that I think will get a decent amount of game action in this one. I think he's viable. Brown is viable, too, formerly of Michigan. I know him. He's a decent shooter. So, definitely some options here for the Lakers. Again, like I said with the Nets, we'll have to keep an eye on news. I'm making this video super early, right? This game starts on Sunday, so right now we don't have any news on playing time. Again, this game's Sunday. I'm making this video Wednesday night. So there's going to be a lot more news coming throughout the next couple days. So we'll go over this on Patreon. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a YouTube live stream, but definitely Patreon live stream before lock. We'll go over everything, answer any questions you guys have of the player pool. Again, that'll be posted for every single slate. We killed it in the Summer League, hoping to kill it again in the NBA preseason. We had a great preseason last year, too. I can post a couple of pictures from last year, maybe go over that in the next video if you guys are curious to see how people did. But, yeah, that's really it. So, again, right now, it's early. Wait on news. But my assumption is Lakers starters don't play in this game. I would guess the Nets starters don't play either, but that's could change. And again, first couple games, we want to focus more on the younger guys that are going to get a good amount of run. I think both teams could be relatively thin if they end up resting the veterans. So that's going to do it for the video today, guys. If you have been enjoying the content so far, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos and go live. You'll be seeing my face a ton. NFL videos basically every single day. NBA going to be obviously slates every single day, and I'm covering every single preseason slate. So let's get it, guys. Good luck, and I will see you all in the next video.